Okay, so, yeah, I'm wearing my Fujifilm shirt. Isn't that nice? I had tons of people since I posted up a ton of macro shots over the past few days. From this, the 80mm Fujifilm macro, like, oh my god, how on earth did you get that lighting? Well, I created something out of necessity. Let me point back to something earlier. I met him back in photography school as Dean Collins. He's a product and corporate photographer, and he had, of course he died of cancer, but he had, the most expensive cameras money can buy, as well as lenses, tilt shift, bellows, and everything, and the guy would still make PVC and light mods. There's stuff even back then as well as today that if you want to do it, it doesn't exist, and you have to invent it yourself. You have to think in terms of, lighting. So I created something out of necessity years ago. I've got like 5 of these. Here it is actually on the speed light. It only weighs about an ounce, and there's a reason for using a TTL cable, because radio triggers just do not cut it. They just don't. Just no. They're unreliable. They're not responsive enough. I don't care who makes it. This is why I'm using this first question I'm going to get asked. Why are you using a TTL cable? Because it's an absolute necessity for doing this sort of stuff. The radio triggers will just make you pull your hair out, if I had any hair, that is. Which, of course, I don't have any hair. The schematics, I have 3 images below which show the schematics and the breakdown of the device. And here it is right here. It's really simple. And there's absolutely nothing else out there like it. If I had all the money in the world, which I don't, you can't throw money at the answer to the problem I had in doing product lighting for macro most product photography, unless it's something big, requires special lighting tools, and they just don't exist. So I was presented with a problem to myself. Solve this problem, and I solved it years ago. And I made videos about this like a year ago and a year and a half ago, but everybody kept asking me, how the hell did you get the lighting on those macro shots? And it's basically like this. And like I said, the diagram and schematics and all the measurements are below. And this is just actually, all of this is laminated. This is laminated black construction paper. This is actually coated with ducting tape that you use for heating and air conditioning ducting. It's a sticky-backed aluminum foil that you can get at your hardware store. These pieces are just industrial Velcro, which have a sticky back, but you could also get it like Lowe's or Home Depot. And it literally, like I said, weighs an ounce, and it pops together in a matter of just a couple seconds, and it ends up looking like that. And you pop it on your speed light. It will fit absolutely any speed light whatsoever. This is actually a 3-way unit, and I actually have, you can't see it, but inside here I have a flip-down gold shielding, which you could probably see the gold. Yeah, I know you can. You can see that gold flash? I actually have inside a convertible unit where I'm able to drop down a gold reflector, which is just a space blanket. They sell gold space blankets on eBay for 99 cents. I just cut out a piece of that and laminate the gold side, and it's insanely lightweight and thin material. And I just have it flipped down over there. By the way, I have the image, and this is just a test shot to show you what you get. This is obviously a white Nautilus shell. What I'm able to do by dropping down that gold reflector, I said the image is below. Take a peek at it. But everything is about lighting control. And now I know also what you're thinking, and I have like a dozen or maybe 20 of the damn things. Little soft boxes that actually fit on the end of your speed light. It's like, well, how the hell is this different than that? Well, it's radically different. The quality of the light, the nature of the light, able to maneuver this very simply and actually get up underneath it, so I can actually do, like on something like this, which is semi-translucent, I'm actually able to use half of this soft box. I call it the macro tent. This is entirely my own invention, and shoot through it, and I'm able to get the translucency character of the shot and use the rest of it for illumination to get edge definition and illumination to it. But I'm actually able to pop this on here, which you can actually see. This is a honeycomb grid. This gives me much superior lighting isolation. Pops right off, pops right on. Industrial Velcro is magical stuff. I love industrial Velcro. But what I can do with this that I can't do with a stupid softbox mod is just, talk is cheap. And I know I do a lot of talking. People say, well, you talk a lot in your videos. Why don't you show us? Well, The images are below, including the diagram for making this yourself. Now, other than buying the materials, I mean, this literally costs you like $2 to make, and it'll take you half an hour to make one since it's the first time you've ever made one. This is, by the way, and it's not like, well, I'm just saying that because it's my invention. No, this is the best macro lighting mod that exists on planet Earth, period. I've been so pleased with this invention. I actually updated it on a couple different occasions, but now it's even more simple, and it is perfected. You see, I'm able to do this with it, and this, give edge definition. Beautiful. Let me drop in some exposure comp. Flash comp, excuse me. I got a really bad headache. Say exposure comp. Exposure comp, flash comp. Tomato, tomato. Yep. Dial it in at a stop. Exposure comp. Everything is about lighting, but then the next step is about lighting control. The one thing people don't realize, and they'll go out and buy a strobe like I have behind me, it's like that's only half the answer. It's the same thing with this. There's a reason why I have a pop-on honeycomb grid on this, is so I'm able to get much better lighting isolation. So since this is a 30, I think this is a, no, this is a 20-degree grid. One of the wonders of mirrorless cameras, obviously, is having WYSIWYG view. Of course, you can't see WYSIWYG with a speed light, but actually, I could do this number. I can actually get in low as I want. Do like this. There we go. See, that's beautiful. I know you can't see that. You probably can. Maybe not. The image is on the screen. I've already uploaded an image of this anyway. It's about lighting control. It's like, what's a perfect analogy? You know, when it comes to big, well, I can drop a lot of light on something. It's like, yeah, that's not even half the picture. Picture being the perfect analogy there. I mean, it's like, you know, some cattlemen, you know, buying 1,000 head of cattle. It's like, where are the cattle? They're out there somewhere. Do you got a fence on your farm there? No. So what did you do? Oh, I let the cattle go. They're out there somewhere. You know, that's the same thing with lighting. It's like some cattleman buying, you know, 1,000 head of cattle. They just let them go. You got a fence? You got any control over them? You know where the hell they are? You know, they're fenced in somewhere where you can find them, right? No, it's out there somewhere. And that's the approach people take to studio strobes and speed. I'm going to drop a lot of light on it. It's like, good. Now you've got, you know, you've exposed your subject perfectly. I mean, why would I need to use this thing? Why don't I just stick a regular stupid $4? You've seen them. They pop on little soft boxes that pop on the speed light. Why don't I just do that and just point it right? And it's the same reason why sticking this on your hot shoe, except for this case, this is an exception. Sticking this on your hot shoe makes suck-ass lighting. It just does. Everything is about lighting control. The angles of where you drop it to give definition to your subject. The specular, the diffuse, i.e. the midtone, and the shadow. And then you have diffuse to shadow. And then you have specular to diffuse, or midtone. The gradation and the percentage of where that falls off. Is it a hard fall off? Is it a soft fall off? If you have control over that, then you have complete control over the composition of your lighting. Dropping a lot of light on something doesn't mean anything. It's like, well, it's perfectly exposed. I dropped a bunch of light on it. It's like, well, isn't that wonderful? You dropped a lot of light on something, but you have no control over the light. Well, what do you mean? I'm pretty sure, you know, dropping light on stuff is just, it's not the answer. Dropping light on stuff is about exposure. And I'm pretty sure the artistic nature of the composition and the image you had in your brain that you're trying to translate into the camera vis-a-vis your studio strobe or your speedlight is of utmost importance. Well, yeah, it kind of is. This is the one and only time, because of the nature of what it is, let me take it off the TTL cable there. This is the one and only time where this is a valid choice, like if you're to go outside and take bug shots or butterfly shots or, you know, flower shots out in the garden. This is the one and only time where having a speed light on the top of your camera is a valid answer because of where this light comes out and the nature of what it does when it's sitting out there. Let me show you. I think it's kind of self-evident. I'm pretty sure you would agree with me. You see, that's just effing beautiful. Need a little exposure comp. Also, too, bend it up. Oh, I forgot. I forgot to take my grid off. In the process of talking, flapping my lips, because talk is cheap, I forgot to take. I don't want to use that grid on there. That's why I don't need more than 2/3 stop exposure comp. Because this is a white shell, you know, the image is coming back. I shoot in manual mode, by the way. When doing stuff like this is also how I shoot events. I shoot everything manual, shutter speed, ISO, and aperture, and then I do TTL photography, flash photography with exposure comp. That's really the easiest and the best way to get the most consistent results. All manual on the camera, but TTL speed light, and if you need to dial in some flash comp, then we're talking easy greasy. You see, that's the shit. You know, excuse my language, it's the shiz. Right? I know you can kind of see it. Probably can't see it. Anyway, trust me. So this is not my egotistical statement. I invented this years ago. You can go back to like 2013 and find this mod. I call it the macro tent. By the way, if there's anybody out there in China that wants to develop this with me to sell, let me know. If I get someone else copying it, I'll sue you. I got a good lawyer too, by the way. Make one of these. Like I said, I got these schematics below for making it. I mean, it's just beautiful. So many. I had at least, over 40 comments on all the recent macro pictures. I feel like, oh my God, your lighting is amazing. How are you getting that lighting? And it's this invention. My invention. And you see, if I were to go to B&H Photo or my camera store, it's like, I'm going to do a ton of macro and product photography. This is perfect for shooting jewelry. This is so simple, and it's most incredibly versatile. There's nothing out there that I could buy that comes as close to the results I get out of my invention. This is my baby. I created it to be quick and easy, but incredibly effective for lighting control. The little pop-on, octagonal, and the little pop-on, diffuser, that doesn't work. It just blasts a lot of light. I want light control. What happens is the speed light illumination comes down and actually hits this mirrored slope right here, and then the light actually falls down through the laminated tracing paper is what it is. If you can actually find some sort of highly transparent plastic, however, you have to worry about color cast. I found out over the many, many years ago that when you drop strobe or speed light illumination through tracing paper, you can get it to like a Hobby Lobby or any arts and crafts drawing store. It doesn't affect, doesn't have issues with color balance, not even on skin tones. This is perfect. Also, by the way, you stick this. Let me show you in a second. I'm looking through the viewfinder. I mean, see, that's just the fucking shit. It's beautiful. Oh, I hit the microphone. Let me turn these two off and show you what I'm talking about. I actually have a really, really long TTL cable. You could use a wireless trigger in that case. Not with this speed light, since it's a Fujifilm speed light. You stick this on a light stand, and, over there as the photographer, put this up close to someone's face, and stick a, you can get a 30 degree or a 15 degree. You can get these on eBay. They're little honeycomb grids. They're really, really lightweight. Like I said, this entire thing, you think it's huge. It weighs about an ounce. It doesn't weigh anything. I mean, it's all laminated tracing paper. You pop this on here. If I pop it on there evenly, instead of rushing, excuse me, there we go. Pop it on here like this, stick it up next to someone's face, compose in tight to their face. Oh, the results. Oh, the results. So anyway, the diagram with all the measurements are below, making this to take you about a half an hour. And I don't exaggerate when I tell you this is the best macro lighting mod on planet Earth, bar none. And nothing comes close to it. I don't know, I guess I'd call myself a god of macro photography. You could call that egotistical BS talk if you want, but I don't know of anybody else out there doing macro photography that has as many original light mods for, and I've got a bunch, fiber optic mods, other mods over there which I've made videos on those over the years. I've got way more light mods than anybody else. Probably the top 40 YouTube channels combined don't even have as many light mods as I do. For some reason, these light mods bore people. They think like if you can't buy it at B&H Photo or at the camera store, it must be a piece of crap. I will point out to you the best photographers on earth, like Dean Collins, who I was a big fan of, and others. They make their own lighting mods because what they want, they know what they need to do, and they have an idea in their head of what they need, and they can't buy it. You know the Omega reflector, which I got an Omega reflector back here. Great photographer Jerry Gionis. He came up with that idea, just like I came up with it. He's like, I need something. This is what I want. It doesn't exist. I'm going to invent it. He just brought it to market, and now it sells. You know, that's another photographer that's like, I need this light mod, but it doesn't exist. And so they invent it. You think that because there's all this photography gear out there, it's like, well, if I need it, it's out there. So no. When it comes to light mods, especially like this, you know, this really highly specific stuff doesn't exist. A lot of it doesn't exist. Now, thanks to Jerry Gionis for inventing that and a few other people, but there's lots of stuff out there yet to be invented. My invention works beyond brilliantly. I'm more in love with it of my light mod inventions than I am any other. So I hope you make one too, especially if you got a macro lens like a Takina or maybe the Fuji 80mm, and make one yourself. It is a brilliant lens, by the way, the 80mm Fuji. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Hasta luego. All that crap. Bye. If you like these videos, click the link below. And, you know, especially if you make this light mod, you could always drop me a buck or two, because that would be so kind. Because I don't have affiliate links or sponsorship or any of that crap that all the rest of these pimpers and shillers have. So every little bit helps a lot. Thank you. Bye.